All right, everybody. Good morning. I feel like I haven't ever got to say that in a video. Good morning, everyone. Here doing another video. I'm just gonna show you some stuff I got going on. First of all, one of the boys in the house gave me one of those pineapple tops. I don't know if anybody has ever planted their own pineapple. Something you can do. Uh, that is definitely, if you're in the right area, something you want to do. It's pretty easy. All you got to do is twist off the top, and then you got to pick off the lower layers. I'll show you here. So this is what I did last night. You twist off these leaves, like kind of like this. You can do it more if you want to, but I think this should be good enough. So you twist off the layers, and you see those shallow roots. Yeah, right there. That's going to take root in whatever soil you put it in. Um, and yeah, it'll take root, and then it will end up looking. Oh, hang on, I'll show you in a second. And then it'll end up looking like one of these right here. I had a lot. I had a bunch left, or I had a bunch that I was growing earlier this season, last season, and I ended up with two, which is kind of amazing how you can have start off with so much and end up with so little. And here's the other one. So that one will be my third pineapple plant, which I greatly appreciate that. I want to take a little time to reiterate how important it probably is for people to actually I'll do another video of the compost a little later. We don't want to get sidetracked. But yeah, basically, I want to reiterate on the importance of growing your own stuff or starting a garden. I didn't really get into too much detail. I'm not going to get into too much detail this time. I just want to be like, hey, if you notice things that are going on in our economy, um, sometimes people notice ahead of time before others, but it's a good idea to be a little proactive. You know what I mean? What can you do if produce that you want to buy from your local store or whatever, if you're not comfortable with, obviously you can't just stop buying produce, if you don't have anything you're not growing at your house. But the thing is that I think it's a pretty big important skill. I think a lot of people overlooked just because, we had it was just easier to buy stuff from the store. It just seemed to be easier to get stuff from the store when versus growing it, because there's so many elements and everything you got to deal with you don't know about, blase. Yeah, I get it, you know what I mean. But now, like, as things are rapidly changing, and it feels like it's a giant guessing game, it doesn't hurt to try to grow something. Try to grow something at your house, something you normally like to grow. You do got to pay attention to what season you're growing it in, or you can just try it for the sake of it. But try something, because it just might serve a better purpose more than you realize. You know what I mean? I kind of been on this whole grow your own food kind of thing for a while, and obviously there's challenges you're gonna have to deal with, but to me, I feel like it's worth it, especially if you can share those things with the people you live with, family, neighborhood, community thing. I think communities that come together and help each other are kind of going to be communities that, you know, fare the best in this climate, in this situation. Um, Again, that's my opinion. But you know what? This is my channel, so I think I can say a little bit of my opinion. Anyway, that's kind of my thing. That's what I'm sticking with. You know, I think grow your own stuff. You're not going to be openly successful immediately, but you know, just keep going, just keep trying. Um, Shoot, you're gonna see me fill a lot of stuff on here. So anyway, before my phone gets too hot, let me go ahead and show you around, show you what I got going on. Ooh, let's see, what do we got? I fed everything yesterday, so this is my strawberry corn patch. That's just behind what you call it? It's just behind my tomatoes and stuff. Tomatoes doing great. I feel a lot better that I am gonna have tomatoes for the fall. I'm doing my best to keep this guy up in what you call it, alive as best I can, because you know I do want to get some more zucchini. I wasn't a big fan of zucchini, but I seen some recipes with zucchini in it and I want to try it. So that's hopefully what I'm going to be able to get done, and I want to be able to sell some too, which everybody says, oh, you have so much zucchini. But I think I got like one zucchini plant and then half of another one over there. So yeah. I already said tomato plants. I got some basil plants. I'm probably at the clip. That guy's getting a little too tall. But this is the strawberry corn. And yeah, this area, it's sprouting, but it's a little slow, you know, slow to sprout. As for what I put out, I didn't get that much coming up. I think I got some sprouts coming up here. Yeah, I do got some stuff going up here. I have no idea what that guy is, but it looks like garlic. I don't know. Moving on. Yeah, I do got some other things coming up here. You know, we got little sprouts coming up right there and there, so I got to be careful where I'm walking. It's supposed to be hot today, pretty hot in hundreds. So I wanted to get out and just make sure I have everything watered the best I can. I think I'm starting to get some sprouts here that I want to hit with some water today. And then I'll give everything a rest tomorrow, because I don't know how far I'll get with editing today. So it depends. Other than that, you know, my cantaloupe vines are doing good. This is where the new corn is. I don't know if that counts as one coming up. I don't think so. I don't think they're ready to come up yet. I did tomatoes and something else right there. A friend of mine told me I need to get better at what you call it, labeling my areas, what I'm growing. I know I'm terrible at labeling, as long as I get them in the ground though. But I am terrible at labeling stuff, but I will do better. So this is my official message to my friend, my other growing friend out there. I will do the best I can to label my produce and where it's growing. Yesterday, I kind of just took some of those old boards and did like a partial raised bed. I did cantaloupe here, baby watermelon. I think basil. I did basil. I had another flower, and I did bell peppers in this row. So we'll do that. Obviously, take a look at this guy. Watermelon's still doing good. You know, the vine's still doing great. I was a little nervous that I, with me moving it out of the way, that it was going to be too disturbed and it might die off, because sometimes that happens, or it happened to me earlier this season. But luckily that didn't happen, so that's cool. What else? Cantaloupe vines are steadily doing their thing. Now they're coming out full-fledged further out into the garden. So, you know, let them do whatever. And my peppers are doing good. I fed them yesterday, so they're doing really, really good. I'm excited because they do have some blossoms. I was going to pick off the blossoms and maybe top them so they can get bushier. If they grow a little bit too tall, I'll probably do that. But right now I'm just going to leave them alone. It seems like feeding them is kind of like the best thing. And it looks like I might start getting a few right here. So I hope so. I hope I get a good amount of peppers. Number one, to sell, and number two, to be able to make sauces with, and you know, seasonings, stuff like that. I was able to make a little bit of seasonings, but not necessarily a whole bunch. Not yet. My suspicion is that when fall comes, when fall gets here, I think things are going to mellow out a whole lot, because this summer was rough. This summer was rough and hot. And I still feel like I'm recovering from that week I took off just because I was dehydrated, you know? Let's see what else. I'm starting on the back half because, that's right, I cleared this out. And this is kind of what's left of my tomatoes here. They're making a comeback. I got some pepper plants out there. Obviously, still not a lot I can do with these vines. Hopefully the vines didn't get that disturbed. It looks like they're still doing good. This cantaloupe seems to be doing okay. Now that we know, it turns like a nice orange color, bright orange color. And honestly, you can smell it when it's pretty ripe. You can smell it. Unfortunately, it looks like I have a little bit of rot on this one. On this watermelon, I don't know. I'm not sure if might just leave it alone, let it do its thing. I'm not sure what to do with that. Oh, shoot. I hear my water running over. Well, yeah, that's what we got going on. Let me turn this off. Actually, hang on. What I want to do is I want to hit this zucchini plant right quick, because just to get a good quick water that right quick. I'm gonna hit that with some water just so it has something and I can actually leave it alone for a day or two. I try to come out and what you call it? I try to come out and water everything and film on my watering days, because I don't have to do necessarily a lot. When I do water, I'm just watering, and then I can kind of show my progress. But well, today is a watering day, kind of, sort of. It's also a day of excavation because I have no free working soil, so I got to get soil from somewhere. If I want to plant this pineapple plant in something, I'm gonna need some dirt. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for today is to free up some dirt. So I'm going to be working with dirt straight out of the ground, which means I might have some seeds to deal with, to pick out. I really don't care. I'm not a big, oh no, weeds, because honestly, to me, more weeds means more fertilizer to me. So even though I might be slow on the approach on digging them out, they're always there for me to use. So I'm not really hating against weeds in the soil. Pluck them out, use them for whatever, depending on how big they get. Anyway, back some of this progression. This is one of the other plots over here where the greenhouse is. This area just seems to do substantially better. Like it always, from the moment I planted that first block over there, it just seems to just do miraculous. I guess it's because the sun rises on this end and goes on that end. I'm not sure. I don't know. I thought it was reversed. But this is my new block of corn. That seems to be doing good. Better than the other one I just showed in the video. This is the next one. As you can see, the next block. This one was a little bit more chaotic, I did long rows. This is a longer block of stuff. But still, I did feed everything. But even still, everything's popping up here. Garlic is right here on the outside. Not everything. Not everything came up yet, but garlic's going here around the edge. And I did some cuttings for tomatoes, which I feel like they're definitely gonna give me some more. I cut off a couple here. For people who don't know yet, you can you see these tiny hairs right here on this plant. You can so if I were to cut off this part right here, you want to cut it off at a node sometimes where it doesn't, it's not necessarily a vital part of the plant. You can clip like a little part off here, and then you can stick it in the ground. Of course, you had to cut off some of the limbs and stuff. You stick it in the ground, and then it'll grow another, like its own plant, because these hairs are basically roots. So a good way to start tomatoes for the fall is do cuttings. And as you can see, they're already starting to blossom. We don't want that though. So we're going to pluck those off because we don't want them to start blossoming yet. And this guy, I left the branches on, so I got to clip those off. But as you can see, they're starting to come back. And remotely fast. This one, not so much. I think they're indeterminate. That was indeterminate. It really sucks because I didn't get a lot for my indeterminate tomatoes or terminate tomatoes. But yeah, these seem to be doing great. This little patch right here, so I'm excited for that. I do got some other stuff growing that's supposed to be kale. We'll see what it feels like being later on. But yeah, moving on over here. And this okra plant's just huge. Gigantic. It hasn't even made anything yet. Well, it's about to. Actually, I lied. As you can see, I think, yeah, right there. That's going to be its first one. I actually have been getting a lot of okra over these few weeks, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to pick them in time. And they grow so fast. So, oh, man, guys, I totally forgot. I did not put a lid on my fertilizer. Oh, definitely make sure. I had to refill this with some more water so it can break down. But yeah, definitely make sure you put a lid on your fertilizer so it doesn't evaporate. We don't want that. We want that to stay covered to help everything break down. Yeah, so we don't want that. We don't want that to dry out, especially in this weather. That will definitely happen. And here's my security system. Keep that lid on. Let's see here. This is the new corn, which shot up. I fertilized it yesterday. As you can see, it's huge, It's doing great. I hope these stalks are strong enough so I can start taking this wood out from the bottom, because I was nervous. Because as soon as I did I moved what I had there before, they started leaning. So I was a little worried. That, but I don't, honestly, I think it might be okay this time. I'm going to wait a little longer though anyway. But yeah, this is my block of corn. This is Silver Queen again. And it looks like it's doing great, growing nice and tall. They have to be, well, this front end, like this side, as you can see, one side's a little taller than the other one, but it's starting to catch up. So that's cool. It's almost about 6 feet. They're already starting to put out these little tassels now. So I might have another couple of weeks of fertilizer before I have to quit. And my trees, they're doing good. They seem to like this area over here. And I'm guessing because the sun rises up. So you get all this morning sun over here. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I know we didn't put any compost over here. There was nothing but weeds growing over here. And I'm just kind of like, what is it? What was over here before I started? As far as I can remember, it was, maybe some weeds, maybe a couple of sunflowers, but nothing miraculously special. I didn't put anything over here, in particular that would make soil so well. It was just, as far as I knew, it was just grass. So I don't know. It's surprising, but like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm actually pretty excited because this has been the best looking block that I've gotten. Best looking one so far. So I'm hoping it'll be best looking and it'll, these will follow suit, because I would really like to get a nice harvest of strawberry corn. This one right here, and yellow corn. So I doubled down, and now I don't have any more room to do another block. If this one down here doesn't do well enough, then I don't know. I might try one more time, but I don't know, because this is the last block, and I don't know what to think, to be honest. But hopefully it'll do okay. I spend too much time. Yeah, it's already, phone's starting to already get a little bit hot. But yeah, so far so good. This is what we got going on. Another okra plant growing here. I did try to chop some stuff down, as you can see. I did go through and chop up the vine. I got to put a few more support pegs over here, kind of keep it a little, supported. I watered everything in here. Still don't know necessarily what to do with it, other than try and pick out a few weeds and stuff like that. I don't know. This whole area needs like a makeover over here. So that'll probably be in another video. But as I said before, we're going over here. Everything looks good over here in this area. Little butterfly approves. So vines look okay. I kind of had to flood this area a little bit with water and everything, and I hit it with some fertilizer. So they look good. I think they're back on track. I chopped stuff down here. I'm gonna let that break down. I think I'm gonna remove this because there's really, I got vines growing on it, but I kind of want to set up something for the new area I have watermelon planted. because I want to set up a different type of trellis, other than what I did over here. So yeah, that's what's going on over here. So I'm probably going to clean out this area a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to put here yet, but this area, obviously this romaine lettuce, which I'm surprised is still growing, mind you. I got, it looks like one, is that a tomato plant? Yeah. Kind of tomato plant. I got a tomato plant here, another one here. They don't want to give up. I'm not saying they should, but I'm gonna let them do whatever. This is more lettuce. Like I said, I'm just gonna pull it up and kind of just let all this break down, and it should be good. I think I might just do, what do I have? Because I wanted more like leafy greens. So I have mustard greens. So I might just plant mustard here and let all this break down over the next couple of weeks. Here again, I don't know what to put there. Something, because the afternoon sun hits this area pretty hard. So it's gonna have to love the sun. Oops. Whatever I do put there, or whatever I have in my selection that's left. I do have some open area here. There's nothing going on here, so if I clean this up today, I can work on this over the next couple of days, put something there. Like I said, I am excavating, taking dirt from this area here, because just yesterday I found a couple of cucumbers, and they were kind of malnourished, so they're already like off colored, that colored earlier, but they did have seeds, and right now I can't run out and grab seeds, so I just replanted them, which, some people are like, oh, well, if you replant them, you might carry the same malnourished traits on into the next ones. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to give them some water today, but I planted some like in this row right here, so we're going to see how well they do and give this trellis some use, because that was kind of the whole idea, all I wanted to do anyway. And as you can see, this watermelon vine, which came all the way from over there, wants to come up here, and I'm okay with that. So we'll see if he wants to climb up here a little bit. Oops, without me knocking off one of its vines. I think they said you can grow 2 or 3 per vine, so we'll see. But I just want to give it a head start, see how he feels about that. Not necessarily, yeah, as you can see, it's kind of pulling on my basil, which I got to trim those down. I don't think basil is not really an issue, but I got to trim them down. Got sunflower seeds, sunflower heads I got to take down. There's another vine off the same vine. This guy wants to go somewhere else. So in my edamame, that one that it gave me, and you know what I do when I have a small harvest. So I'm going to let these dry out, and I'm going to replant them or save them. I have a couple other pods that I picked yesterday, so we'll see what happens. And another cantaloupe vine. Of course, my ginger's up there. That seems like they're okay. I have not been watering this area, actually barely at all. And my strawberries are still there, thank goodness. I was really worried about them, but they seem to have done okay. Yeah, So that's cool. That was another romaine lettuce. But I still got basil, which is cool. This guy, though. I don't want you over there. Yeah, so I still got basil and stuff over here. And strawberries are okay. They're just taking a break. It looks like I even got a tomato plant over here. That's cool. Oh, and my ginger plant. Looks like I got one or two over there. Not mad at that. Yeah, it looks like it's it. As far as over here, hopefully that ginger will do a little bit more. More of the vines over there, watermelon and cantaloupe. I don't know if I'm adding more chaos to the garden by doing another row of cantaloupe. I didn't plant much or so heavy. This guy even come from? Oh, he came from one of the vines over there. Okay. Yeah, but they still want to do tomatoes, and I've been plucking them off. So hopefully, maybe he'll come back. I did take some cuttings from him. So I don't know how well it'll do. But like I said, I'm gonna just water them, hope for the best, and keep it going. And my bok choy that's over with. Poor guy. I didn't even see it coming, but I don't think I have any more bok choy seeds. I haven't been lucky with bok choy, to be honest, where I have planted it. So we'll try again later. Yeah, and everything seems to be doing remotely okay. I forgot I do have some random tomato plants up in here. This is another cantaloupe. I think watermelon. I did plant some watermelon over here. I think it was honeydew. I'm not really a big fan of honeydew, but as you can see, I planted it anyway. So we'll see how well it does. Take that out of here while we're at it. Yeah, so far so good. This guy is climbing really good. This is what I wanted them to do, was climb up here and just, climb up and just kind of take over the trellis, which I think it's going to be able to do now since I cut back some of this. Yeah, this is another cantaloupe vine. So good. Somehow, some way I found the trellis. I did plant some shampoo ginger here, which, oh snap, I think that is one of them. Yeah, that's one right there. That's cool. One came up. I'll be excited to see how that does. Got a nice sunny area. I know I still got to pull up some other stuff, some grass and weeds and whatnot. This vine is where I got. This is where I got those malnourished cucumbers from. But like I said, I needed the seeds, and it had seeds, so I was not against using them to. I should have took a video, but it was really hot yesterday. I was working in the afternoon. Yeah, more okra here. I know I'm gonna have some more ready to go. Another okra plant. Those are all self-planted. So, and the funny thing is that these produced a whole lot quicker than the one over there. So, I don't know. And I did have some, this was an area where I did have okra planted before. But as you can see, I rotated and switched it up. That's kind of what I got. See, you can see right here, this guy. I don't know, did I forget? I forget he was even, there. But yeah, a lot of those have been coming up. And then look how, how tall it is. It's not even that tall, and it was already producing something. What's going on? You know what I mean? Don't be in a rush, guy. We still got plenty of time for okra. My collard, that one. I think they needed some. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of let go of taking care of my collards. Yep, look, I got 2 more right there. 2 more right there. And also, there's another cantaloupe there. That's good. So yeah, I got 2 more there. So yeah, these things they want to produce, but I was hoping they'd get a little taller before they started producing stuff. You know what I mean? Let's see. And this is basically, these are all the okra that I picked yesterday. And I'm not really going to take them in. I'm going to let them dry out so I have seeds for next year. I got a couple. There's another tomato plant there. But yeah, I definitely was a little worried about the heat today because they said it was going to be really hot. So I wanted to get ahead and, actually get up early, because I am not an early riser when it comes to gardening stuff. I should be better at that, but yeah, I'm not the best at getting up early. I still got to pull this guy up. I already removed the the vine that was on it, and I don't have the heart to chop them up, so I'm just gonna move them, put them in another spot. I don't know. Well, it's pretty in there. I can't seem to find my knife either. Oh gosh. There we go. Yeah, I can't seem to find my knife to chop him down anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to transplant him. Put him in another area. Maybe right here or something. I don't know. But I don't want to take that area of the garden take up so much space. Although he does give me some shade. I think maybe some of my plants needed. But he's also taking away nutrients too. So, yeah, we'll just let him. We'll take him somewhere else. Put him somewhere else. And then I think I can just use the corpse of my old zucchini plant here and use that as some mulch. Oh, no, that guy still seems to be a little bit alive. I don't know. Actually, no, I don't think. I don't know. We'll leave that alone. Just gonna let him do whatever. Hopefully this guy isn't gonna be too much of an issue. Yeah. Okay. I need to stake him. But yeah, he's doing okay. So I'm gonna let him do his thing and just mulch around that area the best I can. So it can get sun like it should instead of the hot afternoon sun, I think, which was kind of baking it a little bit too much. I just hope that it'll be reasonably okay. Yeah, which is the root is... Where is the root? It's like it's right there, I guess. And I guess that's the root. I don't know if it is or isn't. I'm not sure. Anyway, let me stop messing with it. I think that's it, honestly. All this going on. Pumpkins are still doing okay. Banana trees are still doing great. I got a new leaf right there. They're getting really tall. Yeah, man. So that's all I got for right now. My progression video, what I got growing. I'm gonna get out here and see what I can do before it gets too hot. Thanks again for tuning in to my video. Appreciate you guys. I guess I gotta say the like and subscribe thing, right? That's what we do when we're on YouTube. So like and subscribe if you guys don't mind. Or like, or, you know, I don't know, play my video in the background. Something like that. If you feel like you got anything of use out of any of my videos, feel free to share them. I share plenty on any and all the forums that I got. Also a bunch of information and stuff. You want to start and do your own thing. I'm trying to find my other affiliation links and stuff for like you want to do plots of land, get your own plot of land and all that. I just got to check my emails, which I'm not a great email person either. But honestly, I think that's it. That's all I got going on. I'm gonna jump into action and get some things started before it's, you know, too late in the day before the heat really hits. But I will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I will do another video in a couple of days and catch up with you guys later. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks.